What is up, guys? So today I'm gonna do a video more about my series, you could say, about genetic, Haplogroup, also kind of ancient tribes, macro things connecting to OPS and stuff like that. So I have a lot of ideas of videos actually, but some are, let's say, further down the line, another way. And now, since I'm in some rabbit hole of Haplogroup and all that, I would still do this video, even if this video is somewhat, would say, complicated in some sense. That I think it's something I should do further down the line. But yeah, Haplogroup, ideologies and all that. Kind of more also my guess. Kind of seeing as I guess of our times that we get more conscious of genetics and how it affects personality and ideology, and particularly now that in our day and age is very divided between some ideologies. And even if we have let's say the same genes, the same Haplogroup that migrates to some place. I mean, America is known to be a very diverse country in terms of genetics and Haplogroup and all that, and we do see a lot of division now. It's true that there has been a lot of change in still a young country, and we can also see that in South America. It's a lot of mix between a lot of genes and Haplogroup. So America is a very diverse, can say, place. Maybe the less diverse place is actually where I'm from. It's mostly French and Anglo. Even though we do have a lot of immigrants too, still not as mixed as America and South America, can say. But yeah, it's very a spirit of our time actually. Kind of the division, and yeah, seeing more people being interested in genetics and how that affect ideology and all that. Neuroscience. I will also do some videos about the neuroscience or personality. What I found for now, I have not dived that deep into it since, but I want to do at least maybe 3 videos on that very briefly, kind of because again this channel is mostly videos that kind of practicing subject that I reflect on to be more at ease to speak in English and all that, for later on really do the real videos that I want to do, more serious and all that, and posting videos everywhere. But now I really like to be it closed down, just me talking about the things that I'm reflecting on at the moment or in the past. I mean, I've narrowed down a lot of things with typology and all that, but there's still some connection to do with other subjects, things that have not been done. I also have a marketing series that I want to do, connecting with OPS and psychology. So I've been going on kind of a dating series at some point, and now there's the one on neuroscience and marketing that is coming, can say. And the one now is kind of related to neuroscience of personality. It's more the genetic and all that. I did the video now, but yeah, that fucking long intro. More to say that we do see like the Protestant world, a lot of his worldview connect to the Viking, and we can see that the Viking or the Germanic, like I did in the video, we can see. I mean, that's Catholic. We see in blue. This one, Catholic, very much correlated, or the R1B Haplogroup. You can see pretty much similar. Even the south that is is brand as Catholic was kind of a very different culture than North Italy. That's for Italian, that the south of Italy is very different from the north of Italy. And even if there are some differences, like we can see R1A here, and there's a Catholic here, so a little bit different. We do see that R1A is more orthodox, like this part. The Y2, I mean Angries, is still part of the orthodox, but still a huge correlation. can see that maybe like I mean it's kind of soft and hard power. Hard can say is genetics. Power because it's about replacement. So people that invade and replace the genetic replacement. And soft power is more like culture. I mean also power, but a different kind of power you can see. And it's more social. You can also say that's kind of the SO in an anagram, and the R is the SP. And we can also say masculine, the R. Oh, what the fuck? Masculine. And this one is more the feminine. So in genetic and history, they really, the guy that blend the two, they always talk about that. The soft and hard power. And we see the same thing with Catholic and Roman. The Roman world, pretty much. The core of the Roman world. And yeah, it's very much. There's a very big correlation between the two. You can see it's almost the same ideology. One that is more law. It is about the law, like the Roman is more the law. The king the law. Kind of more law, culture. I mean, more social. Law. My god, I don't know how to write today. Social law. And kind of atheist, you can see in some sense. Like, it's not really a religious thing to be a Viking or a Roman. It can be associated with religion and all that. But you know. And Catholic Protestant is more the culture. Religion. You can see the cohesion, social cohesion, but more culture cohesion. You can see that the social and the culture together, they form that civilization. More civilization. And yeah, all that is also a hard pill to swallow in the sense that in our day and age we don't want to believe that genetic is important and does affect ideology and psychology. So that's what I think about metatype actually. Like I think that metatype does indicate that metatype, and I do metatype with that kind of thing. Like okay, this kind of area as a metatype. Now we see a little bit of orange actually, but there's a lot of subdivision. Like we see in our DNA, it's like you can make even more division, and you know it's more the macro to the micro. How far you want to go deep, very depend. Though that's one. It's more the, let's say the macro one, very easily seen macro one. That is really what I did, you know, like the Celtic world, Mediterranean world. You can see that Mediterranean has a lot of different. I mean, now that's one is more Islam. I think in green is Islam, and blue is Catholic, purple is Protestant, and then red is Orthodox. So Mediterranean, kind of more multicultural by default. Well, I will say the Celt psychology seems to be more Catholic alike, with some Protestant, but mostly Catholic. And the Germanic really map very well to just the Protestant world. And the Slavic world is mostly, I would say, Orthodox. You know, the Slavic world mostly Orthodox, with some shade of Catholic. While the Mediterranean world, like I said, pretty much more multicultural. Even though I would say it's mostly, yeah. It seems to be more Islamic Catholic, not Protestant. I would say, like can say roughly not Protestant. We can say. So connecting to the four macro rays that I said in my other video. So it does seem it's really a hard pill to swallow because the World War II consensus is saying that kind of we shouldn't be racist and all that. Because that caused problem with the Nazi just being super racist against the Jew. But because of that, the Jew have been preserved. And because of that, kind of give privilege to them. and they are the only one that can be nationalistic. They can do the nationalist project without being called a racist. In the West, in the West. Ready to call in the West, because it's always fine when other countries do it, that they have some pride or have some project with their civilization. It's always fine, even if some might fear it, like maybe some Arabic in the Western world or China in America, maybe fear a little bit of that nationalistic project, but they still are very fine with it, mostly most people. So we kind of see that, okay, the West cannot be nationalistic, cannot be prideful about the ethnicity because of the trouble that they did in World War II. And the Jews have been preserved of that. So there's a lot of taboo with genetic also, because Germanic also use a lot of genetic, the eugenics. And unfortunately, with my research, it does seem that meta type exists, that civilization is as a part that is social, that is culture, and it does seem to be highly correlated to genetic. I mean, that's not the part actually, it's more this part that is genetic. So it does seem that that's a real thing actually, that different psychology can see collective unconscious. It's kind of a continuation of Carl Jung in some sense, that can say maybe in the future we will see, like, I mean, I already highlight that, like, there's the individual, there's the family, the community, the society, and you can say, the whole world, the human world. So there's the most macro, the most micro, and I think it's very natural to say that all levels have a psychology. You can say, okay, the most basic level is more the innate experience on that. Maybe the most macro out of the micro will be like typology, types. Their family can maybe type a family, like a family structure. It's pretty much linked oftentimes to religion, family structure, family ideology. It does seem to diverge even within the genetics and the Catholic and all that, but they still have some models, and the family structure, family ideology, and after, I don't know, the community, which will be highly correlated in my sense to the whole civilization project, and metatypes. Society also metatypes, and the whole human society, it will be all the different metatype, genetic, civilization project of religion, culture, and social structures. So, and that goes really well with Carl Jung in my sense. That's the most macro one will be collective unconscious. After, I don't know, it will be like a collective conscious, or ethno-psychanalysis, like I did in some of my like I also did a video on that. That ethno-psychanalysis is more the differentiation between the culture about the collective. All the collective unconscious, more the things that are more similar within all human collective, which that's why it's called the collective unconscious, Well, the most conscious one, it will be more divergent within all countries, or depending on metatypes or genetics, and kind of just what happened to be the civilization project of a type of country and particular ethnicity and all that. So I think that's just a pill that people want to believe in, that genetic doesn't work, because not genetic, but we are all the same, because they want to think that all our psychology is the same, which doesn't seem to be the case. And it's not because our psychology is different that we have to shut down everything that is different or all that, or to just shut down that opinion, because we want inclusiveness. But so because of that, we just kind of deny the reality that we are not so similar, even if we do, like the most macro level of human condition we are, and we do share a lot. but there's still a lot of things that we are totally not. That for thousands of years we have, can say, evolved differently, you know, based on our environment, culture, civilization. So not everything is in the SP or genetics, survival, but also not everything is in the social and all that. But they do intersect with each other, and they do interact with the universal, you know. Without the universal, it would be a problem, in my sense. And that's what the social kind of does, in a sense. Like, the social problem is that it thinks it's the universal, while it's not. The SP also do that. Like, you kind of say, okay, a survival thing is the thing at the universal. So it's actually, but nowadays in our culture, it does seem that we do that a lot with social. So maybe we will reverse back and become like Germany and say that the SP is universal. So that will also be a problem. It's like when you shut down one part of the equation and you say the universal is the social thing. Kind of this is where it creates problem. I kind of verbalized that in a grand video analyzing universal biology and culture. I kind of explained that part semi good, like, because I didn't really showcase the model right, you know, say that kind of cancel the other, and so whatever. So that's that. And yeah, I think that's just a continuation of Corian, going more to neuroscience. You just connect the genetic to the social part, and to the religion part, and kind of doing levels of collective unconscious to the most individual level. And yeah, and if you guys remember, I mean, I already talked about that earlier in my video, but I realized that, like, okay, the Celtic world is really that. Does seem to be approximately that. Germanic world does seem to be something like that. I would say something similar to that. Maybe Finland, yeah, no, I think Finland is Slavic world. I would say is maybe, honestly, probably something like that. And the Mediterranean, well, Celtic world is not true. I do think that North Italy is part of the Celtic world. I think it's probably something like that. I think that Mediterranean might be something like that. So that's more Europe in my sense. Is that it does line up with the R1b, mostly present with the Celtic, it seems. The Germanic world has some branch of R1b and I1. The Orthodox world seems to be R1a and Y2. Mysterian, it seems to be mostly J and G, and some are, which is more an African one. After I will do roughly things. I think it's probably something like that. After, I think there's more the Turkish Persian world. I would say Turkey is maybe I would say small. I think it's probably something like that, like the Persian world. Maybe in that color. Now the rest of my video is now that's more speculative, because the rest I don't know. Those one I'm pretty sure, as of right now, to be honest. Pretty sure. You're really pretty sure, to be honest. I would say that the Persian world is more Turkey. I'm not sure about that, by the way. I would say it's probably something like that. The Turkish world or something like that. After, I think the Persian world. Iran is Persian. I think the Persian world probably will be something like that. I'm not sure. I think there will be the Turkish. Persian. I will say that mostly all of it here is mostly probably the Arabic world, that I would say. Yeah, even that. So the Arabic world in my sense would be divided between Arabic. I think I would say between the Arabic, the Mediterranean, the Turkish, and the Persian. I think it would be kind of the four kind of more macro ancient tribes. So then, and there's a lot of subclades, kind of a lot of people not like that I'm comparing, say, Iraq to Egypt or something like that. But just to say that they have mostly the same genetic, Like I said, I have like a nation. It will be the macro, which is what I'm doing in this. It's very macro. After it's more the speculative. Right now it's speculative within the kind of the geographic limit of the macro, which are also correlated with the Haplogroup, and the culture. So the nations will just be the country, and this one will be more speculative, phenotype. So more precision, all that, and this one is more the temperaments, like I illustrate in my previous video about melancholic, phlegmatic, choleric, sanguine, analyzing the face and the inside outside with enneagram. So yeah. So I think now, like I said, I think that the Celtic world is NF. I think that the Germanic world is NT. The Slavic world is ST. It will show in the phenotype and the visual typing. The Mediterranean world, I think, is SF. I think in the Arabic world, the Mediterranean, I will still keep as SF. The Arabic world, I think I will keep them as probably. Actually, don't know. I do think the Persian are more NT actually. They're kind of the NT, it seems, of the Arabic world. I do think, and maybe the Turkish. Yeah, probably the Turkish is more like that actually, and Persian world will be like part of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. Maybe parts of Iraq. I don't know. Maybe Oman. I'm not sure about Oman, and maybe it's actually as kind of thing there. It's the wrong color, like the Persian. I do think that the Persian are the NT actually, the Arabic world. Turkish, I don't know. They might be the ST. And Arabic, maybe Arabic are the NF actually. So not sure about that. Africa, I'm still not sure. I'm not sure, but I do another one about speculation of that. And Asia. I think the map, pro group of the map of the world, maybe that will help us actually. Okay, well, Turkish is very different. Persian. So maybe that's too general. Everything is in blue in Europe. Not so sure, but I know in the Middle East because they were all so close as tribes that it's different. Okay, this one seems to make sense. Like the blue area will be, you could say, the Persian world. So actually, it does seem that the Turkish and Persian are together. And after the Arabic and green, and Mysterien slash Arabic might be like bigger, so the green air maybe not. Maybe those two are actually combined. And I don't know, let's say the other group of the Middle East might be more one at the top. Not sure. Yeah, not sure. Like look at some barbeaux. And in Asian world, I do think, yeah, I do think that Burmani kind of like China in a way. They seem to, okay, they do seem to illustrate that even in the genetic. I think that Thailand probably part of it doesn't seem to be in the genetic. Don't know. And after, I think it will be maybe Japan. Probably those countries after that, like after it, Malaysia, Philippines, on that. And we will have India. It will probably be the foreign. And Mongol actually. Oh, Mongol actually part of that. Does make sense. And then Mongoloid will be maybe like part of that. Some that with China. And I don't know, India, they do seem to be maybe the NF. China, I mean, Burmani seems to be pretty much NF2, like maybe a part of Burmani is actually within that, like with India. And China, not sure, I do think Japan are the NT, like Germany, and I think that's why they are can burn actually. And they're the NT of Asia. Philippines, all that, probably the SF actually. In China, Korea seem more the ST. I think they are more Delta. So they will be STJ actually, like the contrary of the scale that are more the NF Delta. I do think that in India, it does seem that the ruling class in India seem more better. So yeah, and I do think that Japan is more Gamma Alpha. And we can maybe say that parts of Korea might have more Japanese phenotype, more Japanese DNA. And I do think that the Philippines and all that does seem more Gamma. So yeah, and they do seem to be pretty neat. Like I don't know, maybe like it's just pockets of the world that over time, like if you do the ratio, like I do, like it's really a 60-40. Like most population are very diverse, and we have mixed through time, lot of migration, all that. But you can still tell to some degree, and I think it's just because of attractions through certain civilization method types and genetics that over time population push to a side, and that people actually merge into their civilization genetic project. So yeah, very big video. Those are speculation. Like I only know the one in Europe, to be honest. I only know those, I would say. The rest, I mean, it does map up with genetic. Haplogroup actually, not say genetic, but Haplogroup. Big difference, but yeah, you know. And you know, R1B is such a, there's a lot of subclade between R1B, so maybe there's even more within the China one too, and the Indian one. Do see that India is the same as Russia. It's more the R1A, so it's more another type of R1A, maybe we can say. I'm not. I find it suspicious that actually Indian they have R1A as the most. It's pretty insane actually. But okay, we'll see about that. I'm not sure. But yeah, this one does seem to map out. I do think that my speculation do seem somewhat accurate. And I don't know about the African world. Maybe at some point we'll do this one. So yeah, big video. I talk about everything. Ciao.